So, yung topic natin ngayon is uh, nawala tuloy ako sa rules of inference. Nawala tuloy ako sa topic. Okay? So, uh, meron tayo dito mga different forms na i-discuss. So, let us start with argument. So, mathematics, an argument is a sequence of propositions called premises, followed by a proposition called conclusion. So, makikita natin dito kung ano yung format niya. So, yung mga premises natin at saka saan nakalagay si conclusion. So, valid argument. So, an argument is valid if the truth of all its premises implies that the conclusion is true. Okay, so kung pagbabasehan natin mamaya dito, makikita natin na true yung conclusion is true based on the truth value of all its premises. Kailangan lahat sila ay true. So, example is, if it rains, I drive to school. So, this is premises. So, ito ay premises. Then, another premises. Then, ito yung conclusion. So, first premise is, if it rains, I drive to school. So, ang ginagamit dito is yung implication, yung if then. Then, it rains, therefore, so therefore, yung tawag doon sa three dots na yan, I drive to school. So, this is a sample of valid argument because it implies in the first premises that if it rains, I drive to school. It rains, ibig sabihin, umulan, therefore, I drive to school. So, nasatisfy yung premise natin, kaya yung conclusion natin is true. So, to help us identify arguments as valid or invalid, we will identify valid argument forms. An argument form in propositional logic is a sequence of compound proposition involving propositional variables. For example, P, Q, R, S. So basic valid argument forms are known as rule of inference. So there are different argument forms na i-discuss dito. So valid argument form. In the previous example, the argument belongs to the following form. So ito yung isang form ng argument. So it rains for variable P, variable Q, I drive to school. So implication, if P then Q, or P implies Q. If it rains, I drive to school. So it rains, therefore I drive to school. So ito yung P, it rains. So, kulang pala rito. So dapat meron ditong P. So it rains, therefore I drive to school. So the triple dot symbol is read as therefore. So makikita nyo sa form, ito yung mga premise natin. Then ito yung conclusion. So let us begin with the following example argument. If the sun shines, then I'm happy. The sun is shining, therefore I'm happy. So let's introduce the following propositional variable. P, the sun shines or sun is shining. Q, I'm happy. The argument above can be written as the following form. So it is customary to separate the conclusion with a horizontal bar. So ito yung horizontal bar natin, ito yung conclusion. This particular argument form is called modus ponens. So proving a rule of inference to formally demonstrate that an argument is valid, we must show that the conditional if, so conjunction of all premises, then conclusion. So if we use conjunction, so for uh, the proposition natin para maging or yung compound proposition natin para maging true, dapat lahat ng premises or lahat ng premise ay true. Kasi conjunction natin is and. So, premise 1, premise 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Dapat dyan maging true. Okay? So, kung may isang magpo-false dyan, magiging false yung conclusion natin. Diba? So ito yung ano natin. If conjunction of all premises, then conclusion. Is true if all the premises are true. Since that the conditional is true, by default, if the premises are not all true, it must always be a true, a tautology. If the argument form is to be valid, let us use this formal definition of validity to show that the modus ponens is valid. To do that, we must establish that, ito yun. So, saan natin nakuha yan? Ito rin yan. Yung form ng modus ponens. So, sabi nga, conjunction of all premises. So, ito yung premise 1. Ito yun. Ginamitan ng conjunction sa next premise natin na P. Saan ang galing yung P? Ito yung sa baba. Okay? Then, the conclusion is a tautology. So, we must establish that it is a tautology. We could use a truth table to do that, but it is more elegant to use logical equivalences. So, kahit alin sa dalawa, pwede kang gumamit ng truth table para lang ma-verify mo if the compound proposition is or the argument is valid or not valid, or logical equivalences. So, rules of inferences. So, we have modus ponens na binigay ng example dun sa kabila. Or mode of previous slide. So, modus ponens, mode of affirming or denying the consequent. So, there are corresponding tautology. So, if P then Q, and P then Q. So, ito na yung binigay kanina. So, mapapansin natin, if we observe the truth table, tautology. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung mga argument na belong sa modus ponens is true. Kasi, if we create the truth table, all output is true. So, ayan. Then, example, Let P is equal to it is snowing. Let Q, I will study discrete structure. If it is snowing, so this is P, then I will study discrete structure. This is Q. So the conditional or the proposition for variable Q. So ito yung form niya. If then it is snowing, yung P. So yung conclusion natin, therefore, I will study discrete structure. So, dito, example nung nasa task kanina, if it rains, I drive to school. So, if it is snowing, kung merong, let's say, nagka-snow, pag-aaralan ko yung discrete structure. It is snowing, so ibig sabihin, nagka-snow. Therefore, yung conclusion, I will study discrete structure. So, gano'n lang kasimple. Yung form, itatranslate lang natin yung mga propositional variables into this form. So, ganun lang kasimple. So, minsan, given yung statement or yung argument, i-derive mo yung forms, kung anong form siya belong. Question. Violent reaction. Tanong. Walang tanong? Wala?
Wala, sir.
Okay, so other form is modus tollens, mode of denying. So this is the corresponding tautology. So ito yung form. So ito yung truth table natin. So kung mapapansin natin, yung lumabas is tautology. Okay? So kung makikita natin, iba yung form niya sa modus ponens. Dito, mode of denying. Naka-not yung Q, then not yung P. So nagkaroon ng inverse. Okay, so example, let P, it is snowing. Let Q, I will study discrete structure. Sorry, if it is snowing, then I will study discrete structure. I will not study discrete structure, so yung word na not belongs to negation. So negation natin dun sa form. So I will not study discrete structure, therefore, it is not. So meron tayong not dun sa conclusion. Therefore, it is not snowing. Okay? So, napakadali lang, di ba? Pagbabasehan lang natin yung forms. But still, dapat kabisado nyo yan kasi may mga certain problems na kailangan mo i-identify kung anong form belong yung argument. So, question sa modus tollens. Walang ano. Walang question.
Wala po, sir.
Hypothetical syllogism. So, the corresponding tautology for hypothetical syllogism. So, hindi ko na isinulat yung truth table, but the result is also a tautology. Okay, so if P then Q and if Q then R, then if P then R. So ito yung form natin. So example is, it snows, I will study discrete structure. Let R, I will get a passing grade. So construct the propositional variable into hypothetical syllogism. So if it snows, so ito yung P, then I will study discrete structure. So ito yung Q. So ito yun. Using if then. So if I study discrete structure, this is Q, then I will get a passing grade, R. So ito yun. Therefore, if it is no, then I will get a passing grade. So ito yung conclusion natin. So based on the conclusion, if it's no, then I will get a passing grade. So ano yung assurance na if nagkaroon ng snow, makakakuha siya ng passing grade? So based doon sa premise na if it's snow, I will study discrete structure. Then if I study discrete structure, then I will get a passing grade. So sa conclusion, it is no. Then based on the premise, kapag nagka-snow, aaralin nga niya discrete structure. Then if it study discrete structure, then he will get a passing grade. So this is a valid argument under hypothetical syllogism. Question. Question?
Wala po, sir.
Wala.
Wala po, sir.
Okay, so punta tayo sa disjunctive syllogism. So this is the corresponding tautology for disjunctive syllogism. So ito yung gamit natin na form. So P or Q and not Q, then Q. So construct the propositional variable into disjunctive syllogism. So I will study discrete structure. Let Q, I will study the contemporary world. So premise 1, I will study discrete structure or I will study contemporary world. So using or. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi natin or, between the two. Diba? So is either discrete structure or contemporary world. So the second premise is I will not study discrete structure. Therefore, if I will not study discrete structure, therefore, I will study contemporary world, which is Q. Nakuha? Nasundan yung example? Nasundan yung example? Nakuha yung
Yes po, sir.
Opo, sir.
disjunctive syllogism? Okay, so addition. The corresponding tautology. So if P, then P or Q. So ito yon yung form natin. So let P, I will study discrete structure. Let Q, I will visit New York. So construct the following propositional variable into argument using addition form. So I will study discrete structure, yung premise natin na P. Then the conclusion. Therefore, I will study discrete structure, or I will visit New York. So, ito yung conclusion natin. So, based on premise natin, I will study discrete structure. So, using OR, kung true ito, using OR, kahit false ito, true pa din siya. Okay, so, next is simplification. So, simplification, so the corresponding tautology, if P and Q, then P. So, ito yun. So, construct, so the following propositional variable to argument or simplification form. I will study discrete structure and contemporary world. Therefore, I will study discrete structure, yung conclusion natin na P. Okay? So, the conjunction, the corresponding tautology, yung form natin, so mapapansin nyo, ginamitan natin ng end yung P at saka Q kasi conjunction of all premise or premises. So, premise 1, premise 2, kaya meron tayong end sa gitna nila. So, example, let P, I will study discrete structure. Let Q, I will study contemporary world. So, I will study, the premise 1 is I will study discrete structure. Premise 2 is I will study contemporary world. Therefore, I will study discrete structure and so ito yung end natin. I will study contemporary world in conjunction form. Sa conclusion, pinagko-combine natin using conjunction yung variable P at saka Q. So, resolution. So, ito yung corresponding tautology natin. So, P or Q and not P or R, then Q or R. So, I will study discrete structure for let P. I will study discrete structure. Let Q, I will study databases. Let R, I will study contemporary world. So, I will study discrete structure or I will study databases. Yung premise 1 natin, using OR. Then, not P, I will not study discrete structure. So, ito yung P. So, ito yung not P. Or I will study contemporary world. Then, therefore, yung ano natin, yung conclusion natin, dahil nga, yung first premise natin is OR. So, ibig sabihin, alin dun sa dalawa. I will study discrete structure or I will study databases. But in second premise natin, yung proposition natin is I will not study discrete structure. So, it implies that in first premise natin, ang aralin niya is database. So, sa second premise natin, I will not study discrete structure or I will study contemporary world. So, therefore, yung conclusion natin, I will study databases na based dito sa first premise natin, or I will study contemporary world. Kumbaga sa elimination, so dito option niya, pagdating sa second premise natin, in-eliminate. So sa conclusion, wala na siya. Dalawa na lang pagpipiliin niya, is database or contemporary world. Okay, question sa resolution. Question sa ating resolution. Wala.
Wala po,
Okay.
sir.
So, meron tayong example dito na dito. Okay, so dito sa ano natin, meron tayong real life example. So, saan ginagamit? Okay, so for example, if we had faster than light travel, we could travel to other star system. So if we could travel to other star system, we would meet aliens. Therefore, if we had faster than light travel, we would meet aliens. So let us first identify the propositional variable. So ito ay P. So we could travel to other star system. So ito ay Q. So if we could travel to other star systems, so this is also Q based dun sa taas. Then we would meet aliens. So R. So ito yung mga premise natin. Ito yung conclusion nasa baba eh. So P. So we use if then. So P, Q. Then yung second premise natin is if ulit. So Q, R. So therefore, if we had faster than light travel, so P, we would meet aliens. So we would meet aliens R. So R. So P, then R. So hypothetical syllogism. But if we analyze the argument, which is true na if we had faster than light travel, we could travel to other star system. Then if we could travel to other star system, we would meet aliens. Therefore, we could travel, or if we had faster than light travel, we would meet aliens. Lang. Sabi,
Hindi, yung papers kasi, I am sorry.
hello? Ay, may question? Sinaksa ko lang yung laptop kasi. May question?
Wala po sir, na-open na po yung mic, sorry.
Okay. So, saan ginagamit ito? Madalas yan kapag yung, di ba yung sa mga korte na based on the statement na ginagamit ng mga doon, suspect, testigo, or witness, ina-analyze nila mabuti. Kasi base doon sa mga sinasabi nila, di ba, based on the argument, ganito, ganyan, na nakikita nila na merong flows doon sa sinasabi ng mga witnesses or nung suspect. Ina-analyze nila mabuti. Okay, so dito, disjunctive syllogism. So sa disjunctive syllogism, ba't nawala yung share? So the accused is either innocent or he is lying. He is not lying, therefore he is innocent. Okay, so tingnan natin mabuti kung bakit siya naging disjunctive syllogism. So ito yung conclusion natin. Ito yung premise natin. Okay, so ito yung yan. So ito ay yung conclusion natin dito is so disjunctive syllogism. Salita. Sige, solve muna natin. Tingnan muna natin ganito. P. Yan. P. Then ito ay Q. So he is lying. So he is not lying. So ito ay not Q. Therefore, he is innocent. Then, P. So, kung titingnan natin, P, Q, not Q, therefore, P. Okay. So, tingnan natin ngayon kung tama tayo sa disjunctive syllogism. Okay. So, based dun sa form, meron tayong mali. So, or ang ginamit pala dito. Tapos, meron pa tayong isang mali. So, ito ay or. Kasi yung word na or. Yan. Okay, so ano pa yung mali natin? So, gawan muna natin ang truth table para makita natin na merong mali. Okay? So, P, Q, so true, false, true, false, true, false. Okay, so gamitan muna natin ng or. So, or si P at saka si Q. So, true, false. Then, not Q. So, false, true, false, true. Okay, so ngayon, if then. So, if then natin, yung conclusion natin. So, itong dalawa. So, ito ay true, false, false. True, true, false, true. True, false, false ulit. Then, false, true, true. So, saan galing yan? Doon sa truth table ni if then. Magiging false lang siya kapag false yung hypothesis or yung conclusion natin. So, ito yun. So, false, false. Okay, so mapapansin nyo, hindi siya tautology. So meaning hindi tama yung ginawa natin. Pero hindi tama yung ginawa natin sa pag-analyze ng mga propositional variables dun sa argument. Okay? So ano dapat? So meron tayong commutative, di ba? Alam mo is commutative yon na okay. So, wait. So ito si P. Ito si Q. So if Q then P, so he is not lying. So ito ay magiging not P. Therefore, he is innocent. So ito ay Q. So ngayon, subukan natin gawin yung truth value ng form na yan, which is yan yung disjunctive syllogism. Ito ay P. Ito ay Q. So, ito papalitan natin ng not P. So, may iba tong mga ano natin. Burahin ko lang So, not P, so magiging false. True. False. Ay. False. True. True. So, P, Q, P or Q, true, 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 true. Not P, false, false. True. So, tama ba? True, true. Parang meron pa rin yan. Then, gagamitan natin to ng end. False. Kaya balik ko lang yung kanina. So, parang hindi tapos yun sa kanina eh. Yan. Q. So, ito pa lang yung end ng dalawa. So, yung end pa lang ng dalawa yan. Tapos, ito, if din natin kay Q. So, dahil dito is Q. Q yung nakalagay sa ating kanina. P. Tapos yung nandito is not Q. Yan. Okay, so not Q, tapos yung P or Q, i-end natin dahil yung end nung or conjunction nung premise. So, hindi ko natapos kanina, hindi ko na dito lang tayo nag-stop. So ito yun. Then, iaano pa natin yung kay P. If then, gagamitan natin ng if then kay P. Ibig sabihin, etong part na to, i-if then natin kay P. So, false, true, true. True, true, true. False, false, true. True, false, false. So, hindi siya tautology. So, using yung una nating ginawa na ito yung P, ito yung Q, ito yung P, ito yung Q, ito yung not Q, ito yung not P. So, ang gagawin natin ngayon, yung based na dun sa form ni disjunctive syllogism. So, buburahin ko lang ulit ito. Anong burahan na malaking pambure. Wait lang ha. At inisin ko lang konti para yan, pwede na yan. Okay. So, yung original form is ito ay not P. Ito ay not Q. Okay. Pinagpalit natin kanina, ito yung P, ito yung Q. So, nakita natin na magkaiba sila na hindi kailangan sa pag-select ng proposition dun sa argument, kailangan maselect mo ng tama. Kasi pag kinrate mo yung truth table, makikita mo na mali yung truth value na lalabas. So dito, nauna si Q, sumunod si P. Pero ang sabi dito sa example, dito sa form natin, dapat P or Q. So, dapat ba natin unahin dito si P as variable P or dito si Q? So, wala naman sinabi na kailangan mauna palagi si P. Bakit? Kasi, kahit inuna natin dito si Q at ito si P, pero yung sa form P or Q, di ba, same lang to kapag doon sa commutative natin na Q or P. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng mauna si Q kay P sa pag-select ng proposition dun sa argument, sa paglalagay ng propositional variable. So, not necessary na kailangan si P yung mauna. Okay? So, ngayon, subukan natin if tama yung truth value na makukuha natin. Tautology ba siya kapag pinerform natin? So, P or Q, true, 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 false. So, ipe-perform natin ngayon yung not P. So, false, false, true, true. So, i-end natin tong dalawa. Pe-perform natin ang AND gate. So, true, false, false. True, false, false. True, true, true. False, true, false. So, ngayon, ito yung ano natin, premises natin, yung conjunction nung all premises. So, nung dalawa natin, then gagamitan natin ngayon ng if then sa Q. Ito. So, ang sabi, dapat tautology siya. Diba? So, using if then, false, true, true. False, false, true. True, true, true. False, false, true. So, tautology siya. So, ibig sabihin, tama yung ginawa natin. Na-identify natin yung propositional variable dun sa argument. So, Q, P he is not lying. So ito yung not P based on the propositional variable sa taas. Therefore, he is innocent, which is Q, yung propositional variable dun sa taas. Question. Question.
Wala naman po, sir.
Wala. Okay, so at a certain part, so example ng addition. So sa addition, so at a certain part, you can get free admission if you are a senior or a student. So you are a student, therefore you satisfy the condition of being a student or a senior. So ito naman, yung iba rito is ah, parang additional part nung argument. So at a certain part you can get free admission if you are a student or a senior. Okay, so if you are a student, so ito yung P. So using or a senior, ito yung Q. So ito yung first, yung premise 1 natin. Then ito yung next, yung you are a student. P. Therefore, so ito yung conclusion natin. So therefore, you satisfy the condition of being a student or a senior. Okay, so sa addition, P or Q. Okay, so tingnan natin. So ito yung P, you are a student. Q, you are a senior. So P, you are a student. So ito yon yung premise natin. Therefore, you satisfy the condition of being a student or a senior. So which is true kasi based dun sa premise natin, you are a student. So you satisfy one of the condition na you are a student. So ito yung sa addition. Simplification. You apply for a scholarship. So you mention on your resume that you have a very good grades and an outstanding collection of baseball cards. So you mentioned on resume that you have a very good grade. So you have very good grades and outstanding collection of baseball cards. So the selection committee makes a note that you have a very good grades. Okay, so ano natin is simplification. So ito yung P. So ito yung Q. So yan yung P, then Q. So P, So therefore, the selection committee makes a note that you have a very good grades. Saglit, tingnan natin yung PowerPoint. Yan. So, tingnan natin. So, P and Q, therefore, P. So, P and Q, therefore, P. Okay, so, next is policy. So, a policy is an invalid argument form. So, based dun sa example natin kanina, yung nauna rito, yung una nating ginawa is invalid. Kasi hindi siya tautology. Di ba? Kung makikita natin, nag-false siya dun sa isang row. Okay? So, dito sa policy, is an invalid argument form. So, two common policies are the policy of affirming the conclusion. So, this policy confuses the conditional premise with its a converse. We have learned that a conditional and its converse are not logically equivalent. So, di ba kapag yung converse, yung conditional na if na P, Q, hindi siya logically equivalent kay P, okay, Q, then P. So, hindi equal yan, dalawa na yan. So, kaya sabi, we have learned that the conditional and its converse are not logically equivalent. So, example, if it rained, then the street is wet. So, the street is wet, therefore, it rained. Okay, so, kung i-analyze natin mabuti, sabi dito sa explanation sa baba, the streets may be wet for a different reason. Perhaps someone sprayed water on the streets or may natapon na tubig. Therefore, yung reason ng pagkabasa ng street is not rain. Or it's not due to rain. Okay, the street is wet, therefore it rained. So, not a 100% na mababasa yung kalsada dahil sa ulan. So, yun yung affirming the conclusion. So, kung okay, so sa modus ponens, ayun, di ba? Sa policy, P at saka Q, di ba? Sa policy, Q at saka P. Kapag dito, let's say for example, it is snowing, I will study discrete structure. Okay, so it is snowing, then I will study discrete structure. So, dun sa policy, ito, conversion, ito naging Q, ito naging P. So, ibig sabihin, mababaligtad yung conclusion natin. Therefore, ang lalabas dito, it is, so, ito muna tayo, so P, Q, tapos Q. Magiging I will study discrete structure. Therefore, it is, if it is snowing, then I will study discrete structure Q. Tingnan ko lang sa ano natin ha. Baka meron akong na-miss. So, PQQP. So, PQQP. So, it is snowing. Then, I will study discrete structure. Tapos, ito Q. Magiging I will study discrete structure. Therefore, it is snowing. Okay, so kung iintindi natin mabuti yung argument, meron ng mali kasi pwede natin na aralin yung discrete structure. So, I will study discrete structure even if it is not snowing. Pwedeng merong exam kinabukasan na kailangan mong aralin yung discrete structure even if it is not snowing. So, kaya nga yung policy natin, hindi siya provide ng tautology. So, kaya yung ano natin is the policy of affirming the conclusion. Okay, so question dito. So question rito sa policy.
Wala po, sir.
So dito naman, pwede naman natin itong gawing modus ponens. So, for example, ito yung P. Ito yung Q. So, ito yung P. Ito yung PQ. Ito yung Q. Di. P, Q. So, sa modus ponens, mauna yung P. Ito magiging P. Yung it-trained, mapupunta rito. Tapos yung street is wet, mapupunta sa conclusion. So, pag binasa natin yung argument, it-trained, then the street is wet. It rained. Therefore, the street is wet. Okay? So, that is a valid form under modus ponens. Pero kapag nakita natin na yung converse niya, so, itong form na to, that is a fallacy or invalid argument. Question.
Wala naman po, sir.
Okay, so the other fallacy is denying the hypothesis. This fallacy confuses the conditional premise with its inverse. So inverse naman, nagkaroon naman ng not, which is we know is not logically equivalent. So hindi sila equivalent. Hindi logically equivalent yun. Yung inverse. So if you stop, so example if you stop breathing, you will die. Of course, siyempre, pag in-stop mo yung paghinga, mamamatay ka. You don't stop breathing. Ito yung not P. Ito yung P. So, positional variable, P, Q. So, ito yung not. You don't stop breathing. So, hindi mo ini-stop yung paghinga. Therefore, yung conclusion natin, therefore, you won't die. Not Q. Invalid argument. Fallacy siya. Bakit? Kasi nga, there are other causes of death. Pwede kang kahit na sabihin mong walang assurance na kapag hindi mo itinigil, pag hindi mo itinigil yung paghinga, hindi ka mamamatay. Pwede kang mamatay through accident o kaya sa sakit or any means na pwedeng mag-cause ng death. So, fallacy siya, invalid argument form. Okay, so yun yung two types of policy, denying the affirming the conclusion and denying the hypothesis. So sa ano naman natin, rules of inference, modus ponens, modus tollens, hypothetical syllogism, disjunctive syllogism, addition, simplification, conjunction, resolution. Yan, then yung mga real life example ng rules of inference. Question, clarification. Questions, clarification sa topic natin ngayon. Walang question.
Wala naman po,
Wala
sir.
po,
Ano
sir.
po, sir?
Sigurado kayo ha? Sigurado kayo na wala kayong question. Kasi meron akong activity na ibibigay. Okay, so wala? Walang question. Okay, so kung walang question, paki-type